Authority Radio.
Welcome all to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name's Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is Albert. See that we're down a man today. Guillermo Cita's doing family errands, right?
Yeah. It always feels like we're always down a man now.
Yeah, I know. Oh well, we'll make up for it in the content of the show. This week in 5 Round MMA, we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the legacy of Kimbo Slice, Michael Bisping calling the shots now. UFC Ariel Helwani, and of course Brock Lesnar. We'll talk more about Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is going to be the new Conor McGregor. Remember how Conor McGregor had a good consecutive run of championship rounds? Yeah. This is going to be Brock Lesnar now. I got a strong feeling about that.
He's going to take over 5 Round MMA.
There you go. So let's get started with round number 1. Let me get a timer going here. Until then, Albert, let's get your reaction on the game. Was it NBA Finals? I mean, LeBron James is...
First of all, I thought after that game 3, I thought it was actually going to be a series. It looked like Cleveland probably figured things out, and the matchup was going to be a lot more strict. But then that quickly changed real quick. And man, dude,
LeBron, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
All right, so let's switch up to MMA. So round number 1, Kimbo Slice passed away on June 6th, at the age of 42, to heart failure. Super sad, unfortunate situation. This one guy who, if you're an MMA fan, you've come to know him regularly. Someone who's so young and an athlete who, with his physique, you would think this guy's in perfect health, but you just never know until you go to the doctor. But I guess apparently he was waiting a heart transplant or something like that. I think he was. The details like that were kind of all over the place in the beginning, but now I think he was waiting a heart transplant, died of heart failure, was admitted to the hospital. I remember I went to the gym. Kimbo Slice admitted to the hospital. Came out of the gym. Kimbo Slice is dead.
Yeah,
was happened very quickly. So, just your thoughts and reaction to this, and then we'll talk about his legacy in MMA, whether it be good or bad.
I think my reaction was just like everybody else. I was kind of shocked. I mean, looking back at that Bellator fight and seeing how tired he was and how tired Dada 5000 was, and you just thought it was just a cardio issue. These guys just didn't train for cardio, and looking back, maybe it was a lot more deeper than that.
Yeah, well, didn't Dada say he died or something like that?
Yeah, he said he had a heart attack during the bout, and then afterwards he had another heart attack, and I don't know. So looking back, that was probably a crazy fight. But yeah, it shocked me, especially when you look at Kimbo Slice. Yeah. You assume he's in a good physique, and he looks perfectly fine. I mean, just to compete in MMA, you have to be pretty, your athletic ability better be up there.
They get past physicals too, right? For each
Bellator revealed that there was no issues at all that the physicians found or anything like that prior or after any of his bouts.
Yeah, I mean, this is also off the heels of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, passing away. But so Kimbo Slice, YouTube street fighter, backyard brawler, whatever you want to call him, made his fame by that way. One of the very first YouTube stars to actually do something with it, right? Yeah. As opposed to just making.
I think that's when I first started talking to Jason.
Yeah.
I think he actually was like, "Oh, dude, check out this guy named Kimbo Slice," and he put him up on YouTube. And I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Was it signed with Elite XC in 2006, 2007? Was really the whole branding behind that organization. This is prior to Strike was around, but it didn't get that the notoriety it did. I mean, MMA purists hated the guy. I mean, casual fans liked him. This is a guy who brought attention to the sport, whether good or bad. I mean, so is his legacy with that just a guy who brought more attention, right? He may have not the traditional. He may have the traditional road to MMA, but I mean, he was in the octagon in the cage. He fought like everybody else did.
To tell you the truth, I would put him in the same boat like Chris Lieben, where these guys were bigger personalities than anything else. Yeah. And they drew attention. And they had highlights in their career, but for the most part, I think what they're going to be what they're best known for, even if you think like people like Chris Lieben, is like making it more popular. Yeah. People tune in more, people embrace the personality more.
Yeah, the UFC did too. Like, remember, Jenny White said, "We'll never have him. Only way he'll ever come in the UFC is if he competes on Tough."
And
where does Kimbo Slice? He goes on Tough. He doesn't do much, but
and that's at the time when Tough was still watchable.
Yeah, I think that's the last full season Tough I saw.
Yeah, I think so too. The heavyweights.
Yeah, it was Rampage versus Rashad. But I mean, this guy Kimbo. I mean, he for how he got into MMA. I mean, Does that make people said could have a bad word to talk about this guy outside of the ring, right?
Yeah.
He seemed like an all-around humble dude. I mean, he just did business. He seemed like he's all business. I mean, he might have a passion for the sport of MMA, but he was seen professional in all the ways going forward. You may knock him for the Ken Shamrock fight, for the Dada 5000, but he's getting paid. I mean, Scott Coker, the Bellator wanted him in the cage. And was it the Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock was the highest rated show
for Bellator
ever. So, I mean, not a traditionalist, but a big spotlight to the sport of MMA. And it's what MMA fans need, because the more casual fans who come in, the more they may find like a pure fighter and they get hooked on. So, I mean, you can't really knock the guy, I think.
Yeah, it's funny, too. If you look back at the Ultimate Fighter, if you remember, Rampage right off the bat was like, no, dude, I want to work with Kimbo.
Yeah.
I wanted to get Kimbo. I heard
my first pick is Kimbo Slice.
And it was more because of who Kimbo was, like his personality and stuff like that, than anything else. And I think that shows, like, the fact that Rampage was, was already kind of all for Kimbo.
Yeah, Rampage is a showman of himself, too. Yeah. So he recognizes the potential, the star power, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. Kimbo Slice, I mean, what more can you say? Just that the guy brought attention to the sport of MMA, whether it be good or bad. The spotlight was brought upon. So, I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity, right, Albert?
No, that's true.
No.
And technically, he did make a couple of stars along the way. So
and with Seth Petrozelli?
Yeah, Seth Petrozelli. He kind of gave him a little rebirth there.
Yeah.
He gave Dada 5000
I had no idea. I had no idea who Dada 5000 was until you fought Kimbo Slice. So, that's it for round number 1. Stick around for round number 2. We'll talk about Michael Bisping and the king of the middleweights. Should be fun. All right, round number 2. Last week, hell froze over. Time stood still. Michael Bisping claimed the UFC middleweight championship. He is now a champion. From what you've seen after his post-fight reaction to the win, to his antics at the post-fight press conference, I think he's handled it the way Michael Bisping was expected to handle it, right?
Yeah, I think Michael Bisping didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
And he did exactly what I think a lot of people thought he would do.
At what point
he's a jerk.
Yeah.
He sounds almost cowardish in a way by refusing to fight Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold.
Well, didn't he at one point in the post-fight press conference for UFC 190 pick up the belt, like just shove it in Luke Rockhold's face,
something like
elementary
kid would do.
So obviously, Bisping has guys call him out all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the guy who's most called out more than any fighter in UFC history. I think.
Before he even had the belt, I think left and right, everyone and their mom challenged Michael.
So obviously, Chris Weidman wants his shot now. Bisping took to Twitter saying Chris Weidman wants a title fight, coming off a loss, win a fight maybe against Luke Rockhold first, like originally planned. This is according to Bisping. And Chris Weidman, hey Bisping, you bum, are you man every word? And then to Michael Bisping report, bum, you coming off a loss to a guy that I just knocked out cold. First Rockhold, fight Rockhold, win, and we'll see. I call the shots. #facts. I mean, this is my biggest fear. I think I don't know if it was off the record last week or on the show. I don't remember, but I said I can see Michael Bisping as the one guy who's going to turn down fighter after fighter after fighter. Because, no, you don't deserve to fight me. What have you done? What have you done lately? You have done nothing to fight me. Who have you beaten? Come off a guy who's never really beaten anybody before. Now I call the shots. #facts. Is Michael Bisping going to be one of these guys? Nope, don't deserve to fight me. Next. Go. Keep going down to the bottom 8 of the division and then go from there. Is that what you see here for Michael Bisping?
I 100% see that. I mean, I want to see what he's going to say about Jacare. I don't know what he has over Jacare.
He lost to Yoel Romero. Get him out of here.
Yeah, and I already know what he's going to say about Vitor. That Juice head doesn't deserve.
Or Yoel Romero. It's a Juice head. Get him out of here.
Yeah. So I mean, you go. It's funny because there's a lot of people I guess he can discredit and not give him a title shot.
Name him down. I'll give you Michael Bisping's.
All right, ready? We'll start where I'm gonna go for reasonable ones.
Yeah.
Tim Kennedy.
Who's that guy? He hasn't fought in 2 years.
Uriah Hall.
Amateur. Couldn't win tough enough. Get out of here.
Gregor Mousasi.
Never fights in the US. So he lost to Uriah Hall. Get out of here.
Loa Machida.
He's a PED user violation. Lost to Chris Weidman. Get out of here, Machida.
And last one, Robert Whitaker.
That's a legit try.
You'll probably fight him.
Yeah, probably fight Robert Whitaker.
It's by default.
So, I mean, this is my worst fear. But you think the UFC will not do this, right? I mean...
Yeah, I think it's going to... I think Dana White's probably going to take the reins on this and be like, okay... Bro, you got to fight at least one of these guys.
It's either Rockhold or Weidman, right? Or the curveball and give him Hendo?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, that really is the dark horse is Dan Henderson, just because he had a big win that same card.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Michael Bisping is tired of seeing that replay because whenever Dan Henderson has a fight, that's the highlight we see.
Yeah.
So
I mean, people are making memes now.
The story makes sense, right? The story makes sense. It's a legit fight now that he kind of secure his by defeating Hector Lombard. I think he secured that, I'm still a contender. So
yeah,
it wasn't like he beat some guy that was like not ranked at all or whatever. So I think it's a legit matchup, and I think it's one of the better matchups, I think. But to tell you the truth, you can close your eyes and pick any of these middleweights, and I think it'll be a good fight. But Dan Henderson has the actual good story behind him.
Yeah, I think, honestly, my gut tells me it's going to be a rematch with Rockhold. I think just because it's there. The UFC loves a good story. I mean, these guys talk crap. It's only gotten worse now. So I think if Rockhold's knee's fine, like he claimed to be, it was an MCL sprain, but then the knee doctor said no, just a knee sprain. That's about it. It makes sense. I hope it doesn't take place in England, but it looks like it might. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Might as well have. I think Bisping won't fight until it's in England, right? I think.
That'd be the smart thing.
Yeah.
Wait until you have a UK event. I don't know. I still think Dan Henderson might. I think Dan Henderson is probably number 1. Luke Rockhold number 2. And then,
so Chris Weidman's the odd man out now?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacare is a little bit ahead of Chris Weidman right now.
Yeah, I think if you go purely by statistics, it should be Jacare, but storyline, Luke, and then you got Hendo right up there with them. But I mean, then Chris Weidman, you need drama with Michael Bisping to fight him. So,
but then again, he can create drama with anybody.
Yeah, and then again, he's calling the shots. So give
him for crying out loud, give him Rafael Natal. I bet you he'll create some kind of.
I think he wants in the rematch with CB Dollaway. So we'll go from there. So Michael the Count Bisping, this is the era of Bisping. He calls his shots. So for round number 2, we're gonna jump ahead to round number 3 after the short little break and talk about Ariel Helwani and the status of MMA reporting in 2016. Should be fun. All right, time for round number 3. Some might say that the outcomes of UFC 199 were overshadowed by the childish antics of the UFC for banning renowned reporter Ariel Helwani for life and his colleagues for leaking the Brock Lesnar return story. Yeah. So they banned him for life, and then about a couple days later, they reinstated him back for life.
It's funny, too, because TMZ got a video with Dana White, and he's like, Ariel Helwani's gone forever, and that as long as he's there, Ariel Helwani won't be there. Yeah, that changed real quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a lot of backlash. A lot of his fellow MMA writers kind of supported him in that and stuff like that. But I think people give Ariel Helwani too much credit here.
Yeah.
Especially with his UFC on Fox reporting. UFC sources tell me on UFC Tonight, like, okay, you're working for the UFC.
So I wonder who told you.
Yeah, it's like these fake. Like, it's kind of hard. It's kind of easy to get the scoop when you're the only guy in the room.
It's like when you're watching WWE and then we have breaking news.
Renee Young here.
Renee Young. The WWE is reporting. Renee Young.
Yeah.
You work for WWE.
UFC Tonight, Ariel Helwani. Well, my insiders tell me UFC is going to make this plan happen. This fight's going to happen by UFC, blah, 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 blah. I mean, okay, I'm pretty sure you're off the cue cards there, homie.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Yeah, I know. For people to be like, oh, he's a big breaking story. He has like actual time, dude.
He's no Stephen A. Smith. He's no Chris Broussard. Exactly. I mean, those guys actually have inside sources.
Those guys are real legit.
Yeah.
Like reporters. That's why I think that's how Ariel Helwani pictures himself.
Yeah.
But in all reality, you're not Stephen A. Smith. You're not. These guys with legit contacts and legit ways of getting information.
We're mostly just a reaction show here on MMA, and the website too. We have a few editorials. We don't break any scoops.
Yeah, we don't do breaking. You know why? Because we don't know no inside.
Exactly, we have nobody in the inside. So we're mostly reactionary here. But too, I mean, this is a guy who's MMA Hour, just basically interview upon interview upon interview, right? Not really any scoops or anything like that. And the whole website MMA Fighting is based off his shows and like, hey, look, this is what they said here. And as far as like. I grew up at ESPN, so I know like these guys, what it takes to be journalism. I went to school for journalism, so it's like you see this stuff here, but how can you take a guy seriously when he's the only guy in the room type of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like maybe he did get the information. They don't tell, and I didn't do anything wrong, but it looks bad for the UFC because this is the one reporter. You can't be banning reporters for no reason. And they did to Sheerdog a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, but they still haven't reinstated Sheerdog. I think they're still banned.
So you can't. If you want to be, NFL doesn't ban reporters
unless they do something ridiculous. I mean, like if they do something other than their job.
Yeah,
because their job is to break news, report news.
But even that, it goes by team to team too. So each team gives out their own credentials. So I mean, because you have some like just blogs like go out there and like, for Lakers, I mean, a few blog writers have their credentials as opposed to just media outlets.
Yeah.
So I mean, the UFC, they want to be taken legitly. If you can't be affiliated unless you're with a sports website, which is like SB Nation, if we call it a sports website.
Yeah.
That's what MMA Fighting is. So. I mean, it looks bad on them. Like, you want to be taken seriously, but you can't be banning and bullying fighters. I mean, that's not right at all. Yeah. But I mean, for Ariel Helwani to be considered like the Howard Cosell of MMA and like the Bob Costas of MMA,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't see it there. Yeah. I mean, it sucks that he got bullied around. He should get bullied, but I mean, come on, people. I mean, this guy is not really bringing anything big. My theory is he saw like a rough edit of the commercial.
Yeah, he was walking backstage and he saw a little rough.
I mean, like you go to his tweet, UFC are in deep negotiations with Brock Lesnar, and then all of a sudden, a couple hours later, he's actually fighting in UFC 200. So it's kind of like,
yeah.
It didn't add up. It didn't add up.
It seems like the negotiations should have already taken place.
Yeah, it's like he purposely did that tweak to make it seem like he was in the scoop. But how do you go from in deep negotiations to an hour later he's actually on? And he made a promo and everything. So I think he's getting too much credit here. But that's just me. I mean, I don't know. And
no, I 100% agree with you. That always irritated me over Ariel Helwani. He claims he's a journalist and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, bro, you're just in the room.
Yeah, MMA media is kind of weird anyway. Yeah. A lot of it's just what they say on interviews and podcasts.
Ain't that right, BJPen.com? let's just report what everybody tweets.
Yeah, that's basically it's all. That's all it is, really.
You want to have some fun? Tweet BJPen.com, anything, and they'll report it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what MMA. Check out what they're saying here on Twitter, and this is what they said on this podcast and on our podcast too, which we should do actually. But
that's what we don't report nothing because I don't believe anything until Dana White says
I got to hear 4 sources before it's 4 confirmations before it's reported on FiveRoundMMA.
Before you see a reaction here in FiveRoundMMA, we better see 4 reports.
We do an MLA format and a site and all that stuff. So check our sources and run them through everybody.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, so that's it for round number 3. We'll take a quick small break and come back for the championship round. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar and the WWE, and Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar. That promo Paul Heyman did, Brock Lesnar. So it should be fun. Welcome back. Time to end the championship round. So last week we reacted to Brock Lesnar's return to UFC at UFC 200. When we recorded last week's show, his opponent was not yet announced. So it has been announced that he will face Mark Super Samoan Hunt at UFC 200. I don't like this move for Brock Lesnar at all because diverticulitis or not, whenever he took a punch last time, he fought. Look at Cain Velasquez, look at Shane Carwin, look at when he fought Alex Overeem. He had trouble covering up or kind of cover up pretty quickly. Your thoughts on Mark Hunt versus Brock Lesnar, UFC 200?
At first, my initial reaction or my initial thought was like what you said, where it's like, I don't know if that's a good move, especially since we know that Brock Lesnar's stand-up is questionable.
Yeah.
But then I actually saw an interview with Brock Lesnar, and he kind of put me at ease. He said, yeah, is his stand-up better? Yeah, but whose ground game's better?
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, that's right. And technically, if you look at Mark Hunt's career, he has always struggled in the ground. And even if you look at his early UFC bouts when he first came into the company, he struggled on the ground. And it's true. And if Brock Lesnar can shoot, take him down, it's going to be a long day for Mark Hunt, if you ask me. And so with that said, I think the playing field's kind of even now.
Yeah.
Can Mark Hunt keep his standing and outstrike Brock Lesnar? Can Brock Lesnar avoid getting hit and taking him down?
You say outstrike, like, when it comes to we're in the 3rd round and Mark Hunt has landed far more strikes than Brock Lesnar. It's gonna be like one solid strike and that's it.
It's gonna take probably like 5.
I mean, somebody said that. I think somebody in the professional wrestling world said that. Oh, like people are criticizing Lesnar's ability to take a punch. Like who likes to get hit? Obviously, nobody likes to get hit, but it's how you react to getting hit. And we've seen Lesnar in the past. He doesn't react very well to getting hit. He's strong. He's powerful. I think he can take Hunt down. I think Brock will win this fight. I don't think it'll be I think it'd be a real rough decision for Hunt, especially if he's on the ground on the ground for all 15 minutes. It's the fact that it just takes one punch from Mark Hunt and then
lights out,
all done, all this hype for nothing. I mean, credit to Brock Lesnar. He was on ESPN when they announced the fight that he Mark Hunt. He had no input at all in his fight. He said he never had any input at all from the UFC about who he's fighting on. I want not that guy. This guy got that right. Michael Bisping.
He says, "Bring it on."
Lesnar said, "Whoever, I'll fight whoever, and have any input on." They consulted me about anything at all. So I mean, credit to Lesnar. He's a fighting dude. He's a prize fighter. It's all about the money. So if it's just a one-off, like they're saying it is, if it's a one-off. Obviously, if he loses, okay, I just won one more shot at the UFC.
Yeah.
But if he wins, do you really buy this as a one-off?
No, I think if he wins, we see an immediate title shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. If he wins, he's getting a title shot, and they're gonna book it around the WWE. I can guarantee you that
for WrestleMania weekend or what?
I don't know. They're gonna do something, but if he wins. But the worst case scenario is he gets knocked out, right?
Yeah.
And if he gets knocked out, that doesn't just hurt his MMA career. I think that hurts his career in general. I mean, it's hard to. I think it'll be hard to build them up unless I mean, Paul Heyman's a smart dude unless he kind of works it in there. But that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, he takes him down, he wins, and I'm telling you, he's gonna get a title shot right off the gate.
I mean, what's the heavyweight the landscape right now? You got Brownie versus Velasquez at UFC 200, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Brownie wins, that's a good matchup for Lesnar. Because he ain't gonna fight Cain Velasquez again.
No.
You know, ended the reign of Lesnar. You still got JDS. That fight never happened. Verdum is still out there. He's gonna fight. Was it Ben Rothwell?
Yeah, Ben Rothwell.
He's got the champion.
Ben Rothwell's still out there.
You guys got the champion Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lesnar probably want.
Arlovsky's still out there.
But I'm sure Lesnar also wanted like another shot at Alistair Overeem now that the USADA is involved now. I mean. Is it just me, or is Alistair Overeem a lot softer than it was when he first debuted in the UFC?
Yeah.
Physically, right?
Yeah, physically.
So, I mean, maybe a healthy Lesnar versus an anti-doping Overeem, maybe even playing field there, too.
Yeah, and it's funny, too, because when Brock Lesnar left, that was kind of the end of the era of these huge heavyweights. I mean, every heavyweight got a lot slender. Every heavyweight dropped in muscle mass. If you remember, when even Frank Mir, that guy was jacked up when Brock Lesnar was there, and now they're all kind of
a little more softer in the middle.
Softer, yeah.
Softer
or even Arlovsky. Remember how beast mode that guy used to look?
A little more. Everybody's softer in the middle now. I think Chad Mendes is going to be softer in the middle now too, right?
They went the Cain Velasquez route.
Yeah, so also too, I think you said if he gets knocked out, the only way I think I see Mark Hunt's going to win is by knockout. I think the only way he wants to win is knockout. Real quick too, I guess New York professional wrestling is still under the athletic commission, so he might not be able to clear for SummerSlam if he's suspended for like 90 days. So he won't be clear to compete against John Cena at SummerSlam. So it should be kind of interesting to see how the WWE and
no
UFC
matter
balance.
how you route it, I like it.
Yeah, so it's interesting how the WWE and UFC are balanced. Borrowing Lesnar. So that's it for round number 4. Round number 5, I actually want to continue this conversation about the UFC and WWE working together and what are your thoughts of it, and like you think MMA fans will buy into it, or even do you even care that they're working together? So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, time for the 5th and final round. Let's get this clock started here. So it was widely known that the WWE is loaning Brock Lesnar to the UFC for 200 for the one-time thing, one-off. And in their press release, they made it very clear to mention that after UFC 200 in July, Brock Lesnar will be available for WWE SummerSlam in August. And actually, reports have surfaced during the week that the WWE might be asking for more than publicity. They might want Paige Van Sant for SummerSlam. They may want Ronda Rousey for for WrestleMania 33. Talk about some other talent exchanges. And as of right now, the UFC has been kind of quiet about this and saying that, and maybe not. We'll see what happens. But do you like the idea of the UFC and WWE like exchanging talent? Kind of like
I love it.
Didn't Pride do this with New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Yeah,
that's how it went, right?
They used to do what they call like catch fights.
Yeah.
Or, I think Josh Barnett was a big guy when it came to stuff like that. But it's just funny to me because like even going back to the New Japan, whatever, we kept saying that even though it's hard to take in, they overlap each other. MMA and
for as much as Dana White doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah, but the honest truth is these two organizations overlap each other.
These two entertaining sports, or sports entertainment, whatever you want to call them.
They overlap each other, and they will always overlap each other. I think even if you go back to some of the beginnings of WWE, and they did the fall brawl whatever thing. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't care.
brawl for all.
So I mean, it's embedded within it, and I tell you the truth, I kind of like it. Because you always hear in stories and news, like even when Booker T and Bautista got added in the back, and I mean
somebody shot for a takedown.
Well,
it goes to Ken Shamrock. He went from UFC to WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan Severn went from UFC
it made
to WWE,
sense,
NWA, and then
and when we seen Ronda Rousey a little bit in there,
just a fan of the sport. I mean, Tito Ortiz was a special referee for Impact Wrestling. King Mo wrestled for Impact Wrestling. Josh Barnett wrestled in Japan for New Japan, along with fighting for Pride. I think Mark Coleman also wrestled too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get the Brock Lesnar, obviously the biggest crossover. CM Punk now.
CM Punk. Even though he hasn't fought.
I think even Bautista fought MMA.
Yeah,
so,
Bautista.
I mean, because a lot of these guys, they see the value there. And it's one of the most popular sports in the world now, MMA. So,
I'll even, just to give you like a small little taste of it. So, you're telling me if Sheamus for some reason said, "Hey, I want an MMA bout," you would not be interested to see Sheamus in the UFC?
If I'm Dana White?
Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, you look and see who actually wants to fight.
Yeah.
And is it really that bad?
Yeah. You have to also go to, like...
I mean, Alberto Del Rio had an MMA career before.
Yeah, he lost to Crow Cop, yeah.
Yep.
But obviously for the UFC, you can't ignore any wrestler who wants to fight because Twitter followers alone, each high-end professional wrestler has at least 500,000 Twitter followers, right?
Yeah.
So the publicity and they're known out there. You're gonna get even if I'm a pro wrestling fan and I don't watch MMA, I'm gonna watch CM Punk fight just because I want to see it. I mean, you got wrestling marks out there who never watch MMA at all. They're gonna tune in to see CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight in the octagon. So they're if they're not married, they're not brother and sister. They're at least first cousins.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, also, too, anybody knows, like, we follow wrestling all our lives. We know, like, the businessman that WWE and Vince McMahon is. Of course, he's going to want more than just, a mention of WWE SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, when all these reports about, the UFC, WWE wanting UFC talent, it made perfect sense because Rousey was a big hit. WrestleMania 31 a couple years ago. There's reports now that Rousey, they want her for WrestleMania 33. Obviously, one of the biggest stars is Paige Van Sant. They want her. So... would it behoove the UFC to lend some stars out, or
I think
no?
I think UFC is going to lend out some stars, and they're going to, like you said, they're going to see that it's to their benefit. I think with the whole Paige Van Sant going to the dancing show,
Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the Stars.
It opens up new avenues. I mean, that show has really started careers, repackaged careers, and it's because it's to a different audience.
Yeah.
While you can say that it got more. I think I saw more Paige Van Sant on TMZ when she was with Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, this was during
then I saw her for her fights.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about going out there and like I keep bringing back TMZ, but you see all these wrestling news on TMZ now.
Because they recognize the potential has, at least for social media, for hits.
Exactly. And so with that shown, I mean, Dana White has to know that this can only be a positive. If I send Paige Van Sant to SummerSlam, whatever, right? Whether it be a match or a guest referee spot or just a segment, guess what? That's going to create popularity. I got a card coming up. What harm does it do sending, Rashad Evans?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, for real. It's like, what harm does it really do?
Or send Chuck Liddell out there.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, it helps out both companies. WWE gets a nice host / star there, and UFC gets a nice little publicity.
Yeah, so it should be an interesting summer for the UFC and WWE. See if this relationship gets deeper and more serious. It should be fun. I mean, we might see more crossovers. Might see more wrestling guys in MMA. Might see more UFC fighters in the steel cage and the Hell in a Cell match. So that's it for this week's show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. But make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. You can also check out this podcast at FightBookMMA.com under the podcast page at FightBookMMA.com. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. First with the Rock and Green eco-friendly cleaning products, the 5 Rounds clothing line, and of course the RMMA Foundation Redemption Martial Arts. What do you got?
Just want to thank everybody for listening, and hopefully we have a trio next week.
We'll see.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.